Hello everybody and welcome to One Wall. Before I get started today, I should tell you that I will not be covering news stories typically. After this video, there will be a topic of the day and either a second topic or one of my own personal stories. Today I will be briefing you on COVID-19 updates. I am sure that most of you know by now what COVID-19 is, but just in case you don't, I will tell you what it is. COVID-19 or coronavirus is a SARS-CoV-2. If you are only here for the story, there is a link in the description of the video with the timer on it so that you can go ahead and skip right to it. The first cases of the COVID were reported in North America in January 2020. Some basic precautions to take to reduce the risk of catching the COVID virus include washing your hands regularly, practice social distancing whenever you can, avoid traveling unless it is completely necessary, refrain from activities that may weaken your lungs, avoid touching your face, and cover your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing. Also, wear a face mask whenever it is necessary. Some larger precautions that the United States is taking to reduce the spread of the COVID include tightening regulations on businesses. For example, many, if not all, businesses were forced to reduce the hours that they are open to the public. Some businesses are completely shut down during the pandemic, and some are even permanently closing up for business. In fact, many are. Our government operations have issued funding to many of the businesses to cover some of their financial losses. The United States government has also sent out stimulus checks to citizens who filed their taxes in 2019. And they're going to be more on their way as the COVID proceeds to spread in our country. Recently, some states are lifting some restrictions, for example, Ned Lamont. I have noticed many changes in restrictions, so that just depends on the number of COVID cases in each state, making it difficult to tell when restrictions are subject to change. As states lift restrictions, they are also increasing the amount of COVID cases they have. Some scientists did speculate that the COVID would spread really slowly, and it is. I am not a scientist who studies these things, and I am not a participant in altering the COVID restrictions. There is also a noticeable difference in the quantity of media that is being created daily. So it appears that as more people are being required to stay at home more frequently due to the outbreak, creators are also boosting their productivity. There are also some new creators like me who will be joining the media in some way. Now that I am finished giving you the newest information that I have on the COVID, I am going to tell you my story about waking up to white noise in May 2020. If you have not heard of white noise yet, I would describe it as a fuzzy and static-like noise. This noise contains every frequency within the range of human hearing in theory, which is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz in equal amounts. If you do not know what hertz is, it is the frequency of any phenomenon with regular periodic variations, expressed as hertz. This term is most frequently used in connection with alternating current electric currents or electromagnetic waves, light, radar, etc. Also, if you did not know what kilohertz are, it is a measure of frequency equivalent to 1,000 cycles per second. So one way to describe what that white noise is doing is sending out frequencies of the smallest amount and the highest amount at the same time that can be detected by human ears. Now that I have explained what white noise is to you, I would like to tell you my own story about when I discovered white noise. To start, I can recall having short discussions and stories about this noise long before I found it myself, although it really sort of came to me as subtle hints, perhaps, at the very most. One of the first questions that came to my mind was why no one directly told me about this. I am not sure if some people who pick up on it are even aware of the white noise yet, and I'm talking about the extra audio. We'll get to that in a minute. If you are straining yourself a lot to pick up audio, you should probably just use the white noise black screen video that I will post a link of in the description of this video. This same video is in my playlist, so you can find it there as well. There are other alternative white noise videos, so if you do not like this one, perhaps you will find one more suitable to your own preference. That is only if you wish to explore it at all. In my opinion, its use is most frequently for music creators. You should exercise caution with this noise because it can ruin your experience when you do hear new sounds in electronic devices that you do not want to hear yet. My goal here today is to raise awareness about this so that you may avoid it or seek it out on your own terms. I recall watching a YouTube video some years ago that played some of this white noise in the background. The very next day, I was listening to some music and heard some sounds coming from the speakers that was not there before. So I thought something was wrong with my device at first, and unable to figure it out, I got frustrated and put all of my media away for a few days. Because it was disconcerting me that the strange sound that I was not expecting kept popping up. After I returned to my usual media, the extra was gone out of it for me. Those sounds were no longer in my hearing scopes, and it is another way to say that white noise may be disruptive if it comes to you as a surprise. I do not recommend this unless you are ready for your entire media experience to change. This includes and everything that is electronic and produces sound. Especially in some television shows, there are some pretty startling background noises in there that can definitely ruin something that you once enjoyed. When I finally discovered what white noise was in May 2020, I used it overnight as I slept, then took a day off from any electronics with audio because I had a lot of long-term ringing in my head for a long period of time. Not that I found it too unsettling. There was no headache or anything like that. However, I feel like I should warn you that this may ruin your entire day after one night of sleeping with it. Basically just because it might throw off your day. I do not think that you should listen to the white noise black screen video without an open schedule for your next day, at least if this is your first time experimenting with it. So I repeated the process of sleeping to that noise one night and avoiding media the next day, and I repeated this process 3 times. I think I may have overdone it just a little bit because there was a point where my ears were picking up audio too well for it to be comfortable to hear. I heard a sort of fart sound coming from audio, mostly in headphones, and that sound lasted months for me. Also note that this noise will probably not enhance your hearing in any empirical way, but it increases your ability to pick up on audio sounds. There is a link in the description of this video for you if you want to check it out. You can also find it in my playlist at any time if it will be the professional audio video. One other use for white noise is to create a more relaxing bedroom environment that promotes healthy and high quality sleep. In addition to noise colors and white noise, these devices provide ambient and natural sounds such as chirping birds and crashing waves. So if you're having a hard time sleeping or are very stressed out, this noise might help you with that a lot. On another note, I do worry about the controversy the media can cause between individuals who know each other. The problem seems to begin once someone gets the idea that the media outlet that they are listening to or watching is somehow designed to give you factual information, even though their source of media has not claimed to have any valid information in it whatsoever. So I'm not talking about sources that do claim to have factual information. normally seen in some television shows or movies, there is a background noise that, especially after listening to white noise, comes out of your television or tablet, etc. And I have noticed many of my friends in the past, and even my relatives, somehow confuse the purpose of entertainment devices and begin trying to use it as some sort of human calculator of sorts. Some, or maybe many, television shows echo out words that, with enough background noise, muffle and blend sounds together to cause many different interpretations of what was said by the characters or a sound that was put into the film. It can sometimes be described as an external voice or sound existing outside of the immediate perspective of the show or film. There's nothing like a nice family gathering at the theater that results in all participants becoming shifty-eyed and creepily paying very close attention to each other's behavior. In this case, they are all behaving like deviants, waiting on each other to do things like burp or eat a piece of popcorn or walk out of the room. Basically, any motion or notion that they might subject each other to speculation, as if now you need to be investigated for passing a bowel movement at the wrong time during a film. I have even known individuals to take this so far as to think the media can now control people with it. It is, at this point, someone might be described as clinically ill or paranoid at the very least, misinformed about the reality that is. To wrap it up today, I think I should tell you to never take a media outlet seriously or personally unless it is directly posted that it is truthful information to be taken seriously. And even in this case, what is true information today may change to better information later to correct the old information. They can also just be wrong altogether. This is all I have for you today. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section of this video, and subscribe if you would like to receive more content. Enjoy, everyone.